All right, so here we're supposed to find n inverse given that m is equal to that. Well, first things first, we're going to write it as an augmented matrix with our identity on the right. And then we need to start with getting a 1 up here. So we're just going to take a fourth over a 1. That gives us this. Then we have to find a 0 here. So we're going to take 6 times this row plus that row, and we get 0 here. Now we need a 1 here, so we have to multiply that row by 2, and then we get the 1 there. Now we need this to be a 0, so we're going to multiply by 1/4 on this row plus that row, and that should give us a 0 here. And when we do, this is going to be our inverse. So m inverse is just 1, 1/2, 3, 2. All right. Now we could always check and multiply m inverse, yeah, times m, and if we get identity out, we'll have the correct answer. And so what if we want to do this one? Well, again, we're going to make this an augmented matrix with our identity to the right, and we can do this with whatever size the square matrix we want. We can do a 3 by 3, a 4 by 4, or whatever, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make this side over here become the identity, and what over here is the result is our inverse. All right, so half of this row, we get this. Now we take 3 times this plus that, and then that's going to give us that. And guess what? Here, this is where we have the zeros over here and something over here. So this means there's not going to be inverse, it's going to be a singular matrix. Okay, and so then we basically are done, and we can't find the inverse on this matrix. All right, so square matrices that don't have inverses, again, like I said, are called singular matrices. And graphing calculators actually recognize this and respond with some kind of an error message. So depending on your calculator, it's going to say something's an error. In this case, it actually says it's a singular matrix. And so therefore, when you're saying find the inverse, it'll say no such thing exists. It's a singular matrix, and so no inverse exists. So that's going to be what happens if you do that. And how to find the inverse is you first put your A in, and then there's the inverse feature on your calculator. You just hit A and then hit inverse, and it just says error, and this is what you're going to see, the error. Okay. All right. Computer spreadsheets also recognize this, and they again give us some kind of error. And basically, in this case, we're finding M. We want to do M inverse, and so when we do that, it's going to just give us some kind of, in this case, pound num star or an exclamation mark, and it's going to be saying, hey, something's wrong here, it doesn't work. And so you know you've done something wrong with your calculation, or basically in this case we have a singular matrix. All right, let's stop there and come back for some more.